Greetings, my minions. I am TV's John Hansen, and I have some more post-production related tips and tricks for you today. Now, a lot of you have been asking how to get your show online to sites like YouTube, but if you were just to export your show normally, you'd get this huge file size that would be way too big to upload. So what I'm going to do today is show you how to use a program called Compressor, which comes with Final Cut Studio. Now, keep in mind, if you're going to upload it to sites like YouTube, they currently have a 10-minute length limit. So if your show is longer than that, which most are, you'll probably have to break up your show into segments. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to break up a previous episode of Access SCC, and I'm going to show you how to use Compressor. All right, let's check this out. Okay, so at this point, you would have already finished editing your video and would now be ready to take this footage and compress it down to a file size that's easy to upload. What we do now is we set our in and out points around the portion that we want to compress. And then you go up to File and Export, then down to Using Compressor. So File, Export, Using Compressor. Click on that and the program is going to open up. Now, before we get too far into this, let me ask you guys a question. How many of you have been using our Panasonic DVX100s or HVX200 cameras to shoot in widescreen, aka squeeze? Well, there's a reason why I asked this. Let's head over to our YouTube channel and let me show you something. Okay, so here's a clip that we previously uploaded on our YouTube channel. Now this clip comes from the 12 segment that we did a couple years ago. Now when I play this clip, what do you notice? There are black boxes on the left and right side of the clip. This is called pillar boxed because the footage was shot in a 4:3 aspect ratio and is being played in the 16:9 player on YouTube. Now let me show you something that we actually shot in 16:9 and what it looks like after we upload it in YouTube. But the reason why I bring this up is because if you shot something in widescreen and you want to keep that aspect ratio, you have to use the appropriate compressor settings. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do. Let's check it out. All right, so now let's go back to Compressor and walk through the settings here. So as you can see, we have our basic layout here. We have our project, which is right here, and it's actually labeled Master 16:9-Master. So that name comes from the sequence in Final Cut Pro. And then over on the right we have our preview screen, which shows us exactly what portion of our clip that we are compressing here. So the next thing we want to look at here is over here is the Settings and Destinations tabs. Now under Settings you can see there's two folders. There's Custom and then Apple. Now Apple are the ones that come with the program. And there are a ton of different settings in here. There are settings to make it fit on a DVD, to make it play on an iPod, an iPhone, Apple TV. There are a ton of different settings you can use. And the great thing about Compressor is that you can do all of these all at once. You could say, yeah, okay, I want to play it on an iPod. Yeah, I want to play it, I want to make a DVD out of it, and I want to upload it to YouTube. So we just throw all these compressor settings right onto the same project, and it'll just go do them one after another. So let's take a look at what we have here. We have SCC export for web, and that's what we're going to use if we want to preserve the 16:9 aspect ratio when we upload it to YouTube. Then there's 16:9 within 4:3, so that's if you want to have your 16:9 footage and then compress it down to a 4:3 aspect ratio, but keeping the aspect by putting in the letterboxing. And then we have web full show settings. So if you want to upload your entire 30-minute show, but want to keep that file size down, we'll use that setting. And what it does is just basically shrink your video size down so it's something that can be easily downloaded and uploaded to and from the web. And then the last two have to do with using high definition footage. So if you've kind of upgraded from standard definition to high definition, you'll want to use those settings, and YouTube will recognize that they're high definition and give you a little HD link on the video itself. So what I'm going to do is use the export for web one, and I just simply grab that file and drag it right on top of where it says drag settings and destination here. So there we have it. There's the file, what it's going to compress it as, and just for the heck of it, I think I'm going to grab one of these others here Apple devices, and we're gonna grab the one that is H.264 for the iPod and iPhone, and I'm gonna drag that on top too, so you can see what it looks like when you have two different compressor settings. And then the next thing that you'd want to do is tell it where you're going to put it. So that's where the Destinations tab comes in. And again, we have Apple. They have a couple different ones. And then under that are custom ones, and you know, feel free to go ahead and add your own custom location in there. To do that, I just go up to the little plus icon here, and I have two options: local and remote. And we're working locally, even if you do have an external hard drive, it's still locally. So we're going to choose that option. And basically all we do is find the folder that we want to use, that we want to put it, and choose that folder. So I've chosen a folder here, and I just click on open. And so now it pops up over into the inspector window over here. And I'm just going to name that Johnny's folder. And then now if we look down in the custom, there's another icon that says Johnny's folder. So now I'm just going to drag that right up to where it says source. Plop it right on top of there. And I'm going to do that for all of the compressor settings that I'm using. And if I want to, I can actually go over here and rename it. So I'm just going to call this one, since we were doing the Mythbuster segment, I'm going to call this one Mythbusters, and then this one happened to be about the Nano Studio, so Mythbusters_Nano. And then I'll know that, I can even maybe put web after that, and then I'll know that's what that is when I go find that file later. And when that's all set, then I just go over here and click the submit button. So I click on that, and another window pops up asking us to, if we want to name this cluster, I guess. But I'm just going to keep it the way it says right now, the name it has right now. I'm going to click on submit. If I wanted to take a look at where we're at in this process, I'm just going to click on the batch monitor button, and that kind of brings up another program. And you can see all your list here. On the left it says this computer. We're going to click on that, and then you can see where it's at in the compression process just by clicking these arrows here. So you can see right now it's working on the Mythbusters Nano Studio one for the web, and then when that's done, it'll pick it up and do the one for the iPhone. So that's all I've got for you today, and I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, just feel free to see any of us, and we'll be happy to help you out and walk you through the steps. Until next time, I'm TV's John Hansen. Thanks for watching.